Guys, and welcome to another discussion video. In December last year, I made a video where I discussed my top 5 2022 game news and announcements that I want to hear in the year of 2022. We're currently in May of 2022, and some games of my list have seen an announcement, some not. However, this time around, I'd like to discuss some other games that I didn't discuss on my original video, or a few that were briefly mentioned in the honorable mentions. But also, I'm joined by my friend George, who is here to share his own version of his list. Hi George, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to be here. So yeah, I've got a list. Is there anything initially off the bat that you thought of that you've changed since you initially made your thoughts, or?
My list of the original thoughts remains the same. Like, those were the top 5 games I wanted to hear the most. So far, as I mentioned, some did get announcements, like the Kingdom Hearts 4, which was announced 1 month ago. We've seen some new trailers from the Sonic Frontiers, which looks really good. And yeah, so far it looks like everything's been mentioned, or at least teased, which I'm happy. But this time I found some other games that I failed to mention, or games that were announced a bit after I made my list. And first things that I would like to mention is the game called Have a Nice Death. So this game is officially out now, but it's only for the PC version, which they did not announce in the original release. It was just a trailer without any platform selected. The game came out in March, and it's a roguelike game where you have to die and restart an adventure over and over and over again. And honestly, it looks really nice. It has a nice art design. I don't know the developers. Magic Design Games, I believe it's their first game design. And I like the whole humor of Death being annoyed by the paperwork that he has to do because people die left and right. And he just goes berserk, killing all the diseases. It looks hilarious. The gameplay looks smooth. It looks fun. I don't know. It looks really interesting and something that I would really love to play and see how it is.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I also contacted the Twitter team. I made a public tweet saying how I just realized that the game is out now and it's only for PC, which is a bit disappointing. And I got a response from the team that worked on the game, and they said that they are currently working on bringing the game in more than one platform. They haven't announced anything yet, but brought hype to me, knowing that it will at some point come to another console, either Switch or PC or even Stadia, I don't know. But yeah, that's my first pick that I didn't mention last time. What is yours? How do you want to start it?
That's the thing, is that it's always good when a publisher reaches out and gets in touch with you. It's quite rare that they do that, because a lot of them don't want to give you hope if nothing's coming. So that does sound quite promising.
But on the other hand, when you're contacting an indie developer team, they'll mostly respond to you. Maybe because they haven't got, that big publication that, let's say, Insomniac has, which has like 10 of millions of fans, whereas they are new and they only have 10,000, so it's easy for them to respond. But it's also very good that they do so, because for me, the fact that they responded to me really put the studio up there in the they respect the fan base kind of thing. In my head.
Yes, I totally understand. Yep.
But yeah, that is my first game.
Yeah, new games that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Ninja Turtles game, the Shredder's Revenge. My hopes for that is to get it on Switch, or the Cowabunga collection. I don't know whether or not that will come eventually to the Switch, but so the Cowabunga is basically old games on a new platform. The Shredder's Revenge is a new game on fairly new platforms. Again, with the Switch, I've tried to look for particular release dates. Now, the reason you might be wondering why the Switch, because it's portable, multiplayer. But let's just take the Shredder's Revenge. A lot of the Ninja Turtle games are multiplayer games. I want it to be, something that I can take with me. I know that, it might come to PC or something like that, but it's still not the same. It's just not as easy to play. And I'm a big fan of the Switch, really.
Playing something on the consoles, you can take it everywhere, and at the same time play it on the TV is really handful. So I can understand why you prefer
that's a big thing.
that. And if I'm not mistaken, these are two side-scroller beat 'em up, right? At least the collection.
Yes.
So it's a great game to play on your own or with a friend.
that's it. And it's the same with the Shredder's Revenge. It should pretty much be a side-scrolling, bit like Streets of Rage. Now, I love Streets of Rage on the Mega Drive, and it's kind of the same type of game. And I wish there was more of them. Again, old kind of style computer games, but just for a new platform, and it's the way it's done. You know, the new
arcade ones.
Yeah. So yes, originally they were arcade games, and bringing them back to life is really good to see.
And if I'm not mistaken, these games do not have an official release date, right? They only said it's coming. Like they have been announced, but they don't have a specific date, as far as I'm aware.
From my research, I couldn't see anything specific.
They only said December 20. They only said 2022 release, but no, they didn't give us months or. Yeah, fair enough. Since you referenced the Switch console, or I have a game for Switch, because as you know, I recently obtained one due to my promise that if Sora gets in Smash, I'll buy a Switch.
Yep.
There is a game called Splatoon, which I'm pretty sure you might be aware of the name.
Yep, I've played it. It's okay.
The third installment of the franchise is coming out, and honestly, it looks something crazy fun, not something hardcore specifically. I know nothing of Splatoon, but it seems like a nice game to have on Switch and play with friends. The whole FPS, special powers, and whoever paints the most wins. I think it's gonna be a fun game.
Yes.
It's not necessarily like a big wish, since I'm not gonna get it on day one, but it's something that I do have my eyes on.
See, for me, Splatoon, it is a good game, and I think for a younger audience, it definitely appeals to the younger audience. And if looking at it as a parent's perspective, if I was to give my child that game, I'd be very happy for them to play it. Personally, I understand the premise, but I would prefer. It's kind of like a weird paintball FPS. For me, I just never got on with it. But you never know; they might bring out something in the new version that might grab me. So yeah, I look forward to hearing more about it. But
I agree to the fact that it's a more appealing to a younger audience kind of game. I can understand that statement, but at the same time, it looks like a. I don't want to say the word dumb, but it looks like a silly game where you can just tell a friend, "Hey, yo, log on and let's play 1 or 2 rounds." Like you don't have to commit. Because let's say in other games, you tend to they tend to be a bit more competitive or more toxic, if you may prefer. Because let's say if you go into Call of Duty or into Overwatch, let's say, without any friends of yours, you'll probably get mad at people being throwing the games, people being on their own and not caring about the team and all that kind of stuff, which I don't believe it's something that Splatoon can bring to the game. Which it's literally just a game for, hey, log on, let's have some fun, 1 or 2 games and go out. That's why it's appealing to me, that kind of essence.
Yeah, in that respect, it's very casual, and yeah, I can definitely see that appealing.
And if I'm not mistaken, Splatoon comes at the end of the month, at the end of the year. Sorry.
Yep, hopefully so.
Your turn. What's another game you have in your list, on your wish list?
Harry Potter, the new Harry Potter Legacy. Now, I wanted it multiplayer. That was my initial want. Online multiplayer. Apparently, they said no. Who knows whether it will or won't?
As of now.
Yeah, that's it.
No Man's Sky began as a single player, and now it has multiplayer. So who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely possible, and I feel that there is an awful lot of people who want that particular feature with it. Personally, with that game, I was originally going to get it day one. I was really happy with everything that came out. Originally, I don't know. I was thinking that it was, for some bizarre reason, I thought it'd just be a PlayStation exclusive. It isn't. It's going to come to different platforms.
I think the reason was because it was only shown as a PlayStation State of Play, and they never mentioned any other console. So it made the illusion that it was exclusive, which is not. But yeah, go on.
That's it. But yeah, I just feel that it's Skyrim in Harry Potter Skyrim. Do I need to really say any more? Not really. I think that it has the potential to be an absolutely brilliant game. The only things that, for me personally, that stopped me buying a pre-order I didn't see any special edition. Excuse me.
Well, normally
I'm a big
special
Harry Potter
editions
person.
are revealed in the final trailer before the release, which might be like a month before its release.
Yes. Yeah.
But other games
that's
show it
exactly
from
my point.
very early on. So you're waiting
Yeah.
a special edition to pre-order it from day one, let's say.
Yes. So for me, special edition. Looking at it from a different perspective, I'd like to see some in-depth gameplay, more customization on characters. I know that it should be pretty good. I don't think I'll be disappointed with the outcome, but until people have kind of got hands-on with it, then really we'll understand. Because with a big open-world game, you don't want to be hitting walls by just walking. You don't want to fall through the floor. Those kinds of things.
You don't want to be the next
want that if you're playing a lot of
Cyberpunk.
No, I don't want the next Cyberpunk. And this has the potential to be an absolutely great game, but then again, so did Cyberpunk. So
You
we
see,
just have to kind of wait and see.
this is a game that I personally didn't care in the beginning. If I remember correctly, when they said that there's a new open world Hogwarts, I was like, cool, it's another Harry Potter game. Because for those who don't know, I used to be a huge Harry Potter fan up until the fourth movie, and then I sort of kind of lost interest in the series because they brought the whole love and stuff, which I'm not gonna get into.
Yeah.
And the first trailer that they show in the state of play specifically for Hogwarts, it really made it interesting because they showed an open world, they showed an entire level skill board, so you can make what your wizard whatever you want to be. You want to be a spellcaster of dark magic, of fire magic, a passive spellcaster. It has so many things to spend your points on. They have a school system, which I hope it's not like the bully game, where you have to stop whatever you're doing and go to the class. But I think it doesn't do that because they did mention that I think you are a transfer student.
Okay.
And recently, on the last 2 days, or the last 3 days as of now, PlayStation released a few trailers of like 2 minutes or 1 minute of each, where they show how the PlayStation 5 will handle the game. Like they showed that if you are in Gryffindor, your controller will vibrate red. If you are in Slytherin, it's gonna be green, yellow for Hufflepuff, and blue for the other ones, Revenants, whatever they are.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is really nice. And they also showcase that if you are hovering with your broomstick, because you can freelance with brooms, you will feel the vibrations, whether or not you are on your broom or you are riding another pet that you can find in the Hogwarts. It looks like a very interesting AAA title from an indie developer. And the last thing that really got me interested in the game is the fact that apparently all the developers are fans of the series. They want to make a game because they like Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, my next game, personally, is a free game which is coming out, I believe, near the end of the year or near the summer, one of the two. It's called Speedstorm. Basically, what this is the Mario Kart clone based on Disney IPs. As you know me, I love my mascot kart racing games. I played Sonic, I played Mario Kart 8, I played Crash, I played the Nickelodeon one. I like these kind of games. They're crazy, they're fun, they're really, really good to play with friends or alone. And when you combine them with Disney, which, as you know me, I love Disney, I love Kingdom Hearts, I love everything that they can do with those heroes if they make it right. And this game, I don't think you can go wrong with a card game. I know they have the budget, they showed amazing stages based on locations. They showed that you can have multiple heroes that you can unlock, each have their own skill, their own racing car, their own map, and it looks like crazy fun. They haven't showed more of the gameplay though, so I don't know, because the only thing that they can do wrong with the game is make the cars feel slow. There have only been one trailer as of now, so you cannot tell based on the trailer if it's a slow game, if it's a quick-paced one. But it looked interesting. They'll probably though, because obviously it's free, they're gonna have microtransactions.
Yeah,
so,
you see, that for me. I don't like that. Now, don't get me wrong. If they make it like Rocket League, where it's just you get all the characters and there's no negative effects, fine. I would, that sounds good.
Yeah,
if
but
they
Rocket
make
League has another issue though. because regularly it requests that you pay for new car skins and new car stuff. I would have said more like Apex, because in Apex they bring new heroes, but the more you play, you get to unlock stuff. Obviously, you can always pay to get money, but the game gives you a fair amount of currency for you to store and unlock. If they do it like that, I would not mind at all. But I don't think they're gonna go with that way.
No,
Obviously,
that's the thing.
We don't know anything.
Exactly, we're just speculating. But I really don't want them to like, for example, if one kart is specifically faster than the other, you don't want to have a pay to win on that. That wouldn't be a very good.
I don't think they're gonna do it with cars as much as they're gonna do it with heroes. So, for example, you can have Jack Sparrow, but if you want to play as Will Turner, you have to pay. Because I think if they're gonna charge, they're gonna charge heroes and maps. I think. Because why would you charge cars? How many cosmetics can you put for one car? Obviously, yeah, you could, but I don't think that the cars will affect necessarily the game. But obviously, we don't know anything. They have to start showing stuff. But my belief is that they will have season passes. Just like
that's it. I think actually that would work quite well.
That include the season pass system. It's an easy way for them to get money and constantly bring content to the game. It all depends on Disney and how they want to handle the IPs. But the last thing and the only thing that really made me very, very interested in the game is, a character with a key might appear. His Disney property technically. So if they want to add him in the game.
Does he have a S name? Or anything to do with a kingdom? Maybe Heart? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
If they put my voice around the game, just like I did with the Switch, I'm gonna support
the
game.
You're buying it. Yeah.
It's a free game, I'm gonna buy the DLC.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that for me, I kind of had that thing with Dragon Quest. I'm so tempted to just go buy the amiibo, but then I'm like, well, should I get the amiibo? Should I just go, and get it for Smash Bros? If they do,
I will definitely get the amiibo.
That was fun.
I will definitely get the amiibo, whether or not, because as you know me, I have at least, as of now, 14 amiibos, and I only got the Switch last month. The amiibo figures have so much detail. I think I review a few on my channel as well. They have an amazing detail. They're really cool looking. They're small, so they don't take space, and the price tag is far more less than any other figures. So trust me when I say the amiibo figures are worth it, definitely, and they get value the more time they spend out. So if you're considering, I would recommend just go for it.
Yeah, probably wait until next payday, but yeah, I'll get one.
So I'm guessing your next game has to be with Dragon Quest that you're looking forward to, since you want the amiibos?
Yes. So I am definitely, if they get to a special edition, I'm buying Dragon Quest 12. Pass or fail, in terms of if it's any good. I really want it for the Switch. I want Dragon Quest 12 because Dragon Quest 11 I've spent hundreds of hours on, and it's a game that I keep going back to. It's got a solid storyline. You can even play the demo for free on the Switch. I would say that the Switch version, although graphics-wise is probably not the best, it works perfectly. It still runs, as far as I'm aware, at 720p in handheld and then 1080. I could be wrong on those specifics, or maybe it's 720 on the docked mode and 480 on the handheld. But the thing with that is that because it's such a smaller screen, you don't notice it, and therefore really it is great quality, and even the cutscenes, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I would say that Dragon Quest, I'm looking forward to that one. They are making a Dragon Quest 3 HD remake. For me, I just played the originals on the NES and the SNES, that is one issue.
I'll have to ask that because I personally haven't played any of the Dragon Quest. I don't know any of it. I'm not following the Dragon Quest, but 12 hasn't been announced, or is it a wish list that you want to see an announcement of?
Yeah, so it's been announced, and it's supposed to be called The Furies of Fate.
Okay.
We know it's coming. We don't, well, as far as I'm aware, I don't know what platforms it's coming to, and we don't know when.
Yeah, okay, I just had to make sure that...
Yeah. It is definitely coming though. There's a trailer. I'm sure you can watch it. There's a trailer coming soon. Well, they've got a trailer at the moment, and I believe it's in Japanese.
Well, the Japanese
I don't know if
developer, it's
there's an
Square
English
Enix, right?
Yeah. Apparently, it's big over there. But I've not heard that much. But yeah, it's great, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's something
Anything
I am
specific you
looking
want to
forward
see in
to.
the game, like new mechanic-wise or new heroes or something specific?
I'm really looking forward to it. I like the companion aspect where you can level up your companions. The thing that I would like most is that if they go back to Dragon Quest IX, where you can customize your character, it's just having that little bit of customization that I really quite like. I also quite like in the, like, for example, 11, the characters, you can choose what costume they're wearing, and that will give them special effects, and that changes their overall character in-game, which is really good. I like that aspect. I want them to keep that. So really,
personalizing a character.
I want the same companions. Yes, definitely. So I want to, nothing really changed other than I want to change like the face of the character.
Okay, so wait,
I know for cutscenes that might be
when
difficult.
you say that, would you like it to be, let's say, like, would you like your character to be full-on customizable by yourself, like in Code Vein, or would you like it to be one character, you just change the color scheme or a few specific clothings?
Really, I'm not that bothered. I just like it to be more customizable. Like, you can change the color of the skin, you can change the hair type, the eyes.
So you want the full-on
like
custom
that.
character, so full-on character creation?
Yes,
Okay.
That would be good. That's the only thing that I personally would change in it. The story, the way that they write the stories, generally speaking, is brilliant.
Yeah, Square Enix and storytelling.
Actually would say,
don't even get me started on that.
See, this is it. They did such good story. There are aspects in it I don't like. I don't like, they tried to make it a bit, weird. Where, like, I understand you can marry in the game. That's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. But some of the options there I didn't particularly appreciate. I don't like the way that some of the characters interact. They're a bit too flamboyant. And I understand that this can appeal to a younger audience, so maybe they're going for that aspect. But personally, I felt it was a bit much.
But
that
keep
could
in
just be
mind,
the way
this is
I
Japan.
took it.
They see very
That's
different
true.
culture than what we see.
Yes,
So
that
that's
is
a
true.
bit. That might be more of a cultural creation than story picks,
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to point out. Personally, that's one thing that I would change. It's the only thing that really annoyed me is the way that some of the characters acted. But it was nice that they added English, like the English-speaking titles.
Yeah.
That was a great thing to have. I feel that it would not be the same without it.
I think that was even a joke in Smash Brothers, where all these Square Enix representatives, like Sephiroth, Cloud, and Hero, were all in Japanese in a game that everybody speaks English. And the only Square Enix character that was added was the last one with Sora, because he's the only Square Enix character in that game who speaks English. It made the whole thing hilarious.
Yeah. So the way it works out is the Dragon Quest universe, very quickly. This is no definitive edition of it. However, it is complicated. There is an order, vaguely. Some of the outer games do fit into it, and they do make sense in the universe. So, look at taking Dragon Quest IX. The original characters, if you look at the original packaging, they've got like Dundrasul, which is then related to one of your party members in the current game, Dragon Quest XI. In his, I won't spoil the story, in his way of doing it, but so I won't spoil the story too much, but the way that it links back is good. It doesn't fully give you all of the information until you need it, but it suggests to you certain things that make sense. But yeah, that's the initial things that come to my mind in the next couple of things.
Well, since
What
we
were your
mentioned
thoughts?
Square Enix, there is this Final Fantasy 16 game that is coming out. Obviously, ever since its announcement, we know it's going to come out in 2022, and there's been plenty of leaks suggesting that the game is nearly finished and now it's going to start being advertised at any moment now. This is the next major Final Fantasy game, if it makes sense, because Final Fantasy 15 is the
Yep.
last one as of now, and this is going to be 16th. So it means new protagonist, new story, all based in the Final Fantasy universe, because just like Dragon Quest, all the Final Fantasy remain towards their own number. So if you want to play 7, all the 7 games are for the same story. If you want 3, it's all in the 3. This is the first 16. And honestly, the trailers look okay. They don't look like Final Fantasy Remake kind of graphics, but they do look nice nonetheless. And what really strikes me the most is the gameplay aspect, because it follows the same new style of action-based combat instead of the old turn-based. And what they did is they took the composer of Devil May Cry games, which we all know Devil May Cry games are all about the style combat and not the story. No disrespect to them, it's just that the story is always something basic and the gameplay is what takes Devil May Cry to the next level. So having them working on the combat system is so good. And if I'm not mistaken, Final Fantasy XIV's producer is also heavily directed with the project. And as we all know, Final Fantasy XIV skyrocketed ever since he joined the team. So it's a game that I believe it's worth looking forward to, because I believe it's going to surprise people.
That's the thing. It could surprise me. I'm very much a Dragon Quest fan. I did actually quite enjoy Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 7 is good, but 12 for me really did it. It could convert me. We're going to go there.
I'm not going to have a conversation
I
about
don't
Final
think
Fantasy,
so.
man. 7 is the best, don't even at me.
Okay. I think overall 7 is probably the best in terms of storyline and thing, but I just really enjoyed 12.
Obviously, we're not counting 14 because 14 is an ongoing game. Just pointing that out.
Yes.
Because 14 keeps bringing new concept, new arcs, new stuff. Whereas 7 is one story that finished a long time ago, it's just being remade.
Yes.
Just pointing it out.
It's a classic.
For those who want to say 14 has the best story, I'm just saying 14 is an ongoing tale for an online game. And they're based on your hero, so it makes it more personal.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Is the new games that are going to come out, are we going to be in 5 years' time? We're going to say, yes, I still play that game today. Yes, that is such a good game. I'm going to go back to it. If it is, then I'm always happy to buy the special edition or the particular version where something appeals to me and I think, oh, that will work now and in the future. Whereas if it's, say, a game that I've got a previous version of, there aren't really that many changes. There's no real reason to get the new one. Then I'll probably hold off on it, and then I could end up being pleasantly surprised when I get it, or I could just end up saying, no, that wasn't for me, and that's the end of that one, and get rid of it at the time. For me personally, there are a lot of different games that are coming out, so yeah, it's interesting to see what will happen and when it will happen, because a lot of developers have been pushed back as well. So yeah,
I have another game here, which I didn't want to have in, but I actually do. So it's the new Dragon Ball Breakers game. Now hear me out.
Oh, okay.
When the game was announced, I praised the idea. I think if you can find message of me saying that it's a great idea, I like how they're testing with the IP. Because unlike all the other Dragon Ball games, this one is a asymmetric survival horror game. So what it does is that it takes 6 humans, place them in the Dragon Ball universe, and they put one major villain to be the chaser. So it's like Dead by Daylight, but with Dragon Ball. I'm not a huge Dead by Daylight fan, just want to point it out. And when I saw the new Dragon Ball game, I literally said, I like the idea, I just don't feel like it's going to have a fan base after, let's say, 2 months of its release. Because the hype is going to die and stuff like that. But when the demo came out, the beta, the game looks so fun, playing with friends, which is something I'm liking of. Because you need specifically 6 friends or 7. Otherwise, you're not guaranteed to have a good fun playing the game. That's my only major for the game. Because I was watching other YouTubers playing it, and they were having so much fun, and I was enjoying watching them play the game. But I know that when I get it, I only have 4 friends. No, not even 4. I have 3 friends who I know for sure will get the game, including myself. So, as you can see, the game needs 7. I have 3. So I don't know if I'm gonna have the same fun experience as those YouTubers that I was watching or other streamers. Because it's like, it's a team-based game. Those 6 survivors have to work together to escape the bad guy. And there has been a plethora of times where I played an online game, either with goals or either with teams that did not work together because either the members were not in the party chat, they did not speak English, they did not speak Greek, they did not speak anything. So it's like, how can I work with them as a team? Because let's say you go in a game, let's say like Overwatch. If you play in competitive Overwatch, you know that you have to say, hey guys, I'm gonna use my ultimate and stuff like that. And sure, the game does give you a few dialogue options, but it's not gonna work as much as you telling them verbally. The same with, let's say, Among Us, which is a game where you have to find the imposter. If you don't talk to say, what did you see, who did you see, what did you see, it's gonna end up like going in the game, somebody dies, and then somebody says, oh, it's red. And before you have time to discuss why it's red, everybody just vote him out. It's a game that relies on the party and the chat, and I don't think that it's gonna get the support from common players like you and me.
The general community. That's it. For me personally, a game has to be either groundbreaking or something special. But yeah, it's so. For example, Turtles, as you were mentioning earlier, like Splatoon, I guess it's going to be for me a quick game where you quickly go on it, you play a bit, and then you carry on. Maybe it's another time because you don't have all the time in the world to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. It could be a case that with the games coming up, it could be a game that you keep playing and you can't put down. Skyrim for me was a game that I couldn't put down, but initially I didn't have that reaction. I didn't like the game because of the fact that simply because of the fact that I jumped over the wall when the dragon comes to get you in the first scene, and that broke the game. So that's the thing as well. If the Harry Potter game that comes out is absolutely terrible, where it breaks because you jump out of the game, then that's going to be a bit of a problem, because I like to break the game.
Well, you can always wait for a month after the game's release where the major issues will be pointed out or even fixed, and then get the game if it's not a priority game. For example, when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I'll buy it day one. I don't care if it has glitches, I don't care if it has anything, because it's Kingdom Hearts. I've been with the series since 2002, so it is what it is. But if it's a game that, let's say, the Final Fantasy 16 I mentioned, if they mention that the game has a lot of glitches, I'm not gonna go get it day one, unless they showed me something that will make me go, okay, I need this in my life,
Yes.
You see, before we close up, we should do another of these conversations. As you know, PS Plus Premium is an official thing now, where they bring back old games. I don't know if you've seen the list, but let's say personally I'm disappointed, and I would like to make a list with you at some point, speculating what games we want them to add, because we know that they're going to continue to update the list.
That's exactly the thing. Yeah.
For example, just a brief reference. I'm pretty sure a lot of the majority did not want Jak and Daxter because they already remastered the games and they charge it. So I'm pretty sure the fans who wanted to play the game will have bought the remastered version a long time ago. What they should have instead will be a game like SSX3, which we all know was a must-play in PS2 era, and that game is not anywhere in the list. And the majority of the list is literally remasters. Like, why will I play God of War 3 when I have God of War 3 remaster? Like, I know, the one is given to you free to the subscription, but the other one is expensive. But you might as well get God of War from a sale, because the subscription is literally $150 per year. Which, if I had $150, I might as well go get the game for $5 from a second-hand person or something.
Yeah.
But that would be an idea that I would like to discuss at some point. You have any closing statements, George, that you want to share? Or any last comments?
Yeah, Age of Empires is they got a DLC coming out for that, but I just haven't connected with it. There's no physicals. When they start getting physicals in, I'll get it, and that brings me back to the point of I still buy physical media. I know sometimes I buy digital, but if it's special, then I buy physical because then I can get it for birthday, Christmas, those kinds of special events, and it means something. Whereas with digital, I don't really get that, and therefore, for me, that's how I work with games, and I think that a lot of developers need to bear that in mind when making games.
You see, I heavily agree with the statement of the physical thing is better than the digital. However, what I will say is that sometimes the digital store gives exclusively good prices. For example,
that is true.
The bundle Kingdom Hearts all-in-one, where you can get all the Kingdom Hearts games, when it came out as physical, it was approximately 60 euros, which, don't get me wrong, it's worth the money because you're getting 7 games and 3 movies. So I'm not going to say it's not worth it, but it has been on the store for £7. So, and you get everything in it. So sometimes the digital store does give you a few options that you might as well never try to play in the past. Same with plenty of other games that I reviewed on this channel. I wasn't planning on getting the games, but when I see them being £3, £5, £6, I'm gonna say, yeah, cool, I'm gonna get it and try it, and if I don't like it, I didn't lose much money. I recently reviewed the game called Hoa, which was an indie game, which was very beautifully designed, like the background animations, everything looked very good, and I paid for it £3, and the game lasts 2 hours for 100% completion. The original price is 15 in the digital store and 25 as a physical. I would not want to spend £25 for a 2 hours game 100% completed. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine if you paid 25 for that game and it only lasts 2 hours.
And
you've seen everything the game had to offer. You wouldn't want that, right?
No, nobody would.
So
especially if it's a lot of money.
That's the thing between physical and
digital. That's the thing as well. That's kind of pocket money price. Even if it was a fiver, it's pocket money prices, and pocket money prices for the younger audience. It needs to be a decent game, really.
I should also mention the Among Us game. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Among Us. Everybody played it. It's free for the Android devices, and it's, I think, £4 for the PlayStation. But if you want the physical release, it's 25, which, as you can see, it's a 20 euros difference. And then they give you the special edition, which only included a plushie, which you can buy for 4 euros in some stores. And they included the plushie with the additional cost of another 10, making the game 35. And then there's the imposter version, where you get an art book and I think a perk for 60. Like, why would I pay 60 for Among Us and not download it for free?
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's still cross-platform, so I might as well. I don't want it on a physical if it's gonna be that expensive. So sometimes physicals come with way more than what they should have been.
That's it. But yeah, sometimes it depends on the release and who's doing it. Depends on the quality. So yeah, it's been great. Thank you very much for having me. I hope you have a good day and that we can catch up and speak about more stuff soon.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see my original list that included more AAA titles such as Spider-Man, stuff like that, you can go check my video. I'll link it below. Hope you guys enjoyed the new list, or George's list. If you did, tell us in the comments your games or a game that was mentioned. And yeah, till then, take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!